Have you ever stared at the ceiling at 2 a.m., your mind wandering through 1,000 thoughts that nobody else seems to notice? You replay conversations, analyze people's motives, question your own existence, not because you want to, but because you can't not. If that sounds familiar, you might be what psychologists call a deep thinker. But what does that really mean? And why does the world often misunderstand people like you? Let's go deeper. Deep thinkers don't just live life, they observe it. While others see the surface, you notice the cracks, the subtle tone in someone's voice, the pause before they answer, the way the air feels before a storm. You're not just present, you're aware. And that awareness is both your greatest gift and your heaviest burden. Deep thinkers tend to have high metacognition, meaning you think about your thoughts. You reflect, analyze, and question your own inner world constantly. But here's the catch. When your mind never stops spinning, you often end up living more in your head than in the moment. There's beauty in your depth. You can find meaning in the smallest things, a song lyric, a fleeting look, a piece of art that nobody else seems to understand. You feel the world intensely. You see patterns where others see chaos. But you also carry invisible weight, because deep thinking comes with deep feeling. You don't just experience emotions, you absorb them. You feel other people's pain, their joy, their confusion, as if it were your own. And sometimes it gets exhausting, doesn't it? Most people think fast, act fast, move fast. But deep thinkers pause. You need silence to process. You need solitude to recharge. And in a world that glorifies noise, your quietness can be misunderstood as disinterest or even arrogance. You might hear things like, "You think too much," or "You're too sensitive." But what they don't understand is that thinking deeply isn't a choice. It's how your mind breathes. Psychologists say deep thinkers often fall under high openness to experience, one of the core personality traits in the Big Five model. You crave meaning, creativity, and truth. You're not satisfied with just because. You need to know why. And maybe this is the hardest part. Deep thinkers often feel alone. Because how do you explain thoughts that have no words? How do you connect with someone when your mind is in constant motion, floating between past, present, and future? Sometimes your silence is mistaken for distance, but in reality, it's just noise overload. Your mind is processing life at a level most people never reach. But you're not broken. You're just tuned to a deeper frequency. Deep thinking isn't a flaw. It's a form of brilliance. It's the reason artists create, scientists discover, and philosophers question. Every revolution in human thought began with someone who refused to think shallowly. But to live deeply, you must learn one thing. Don't drown in your own depth. Use it to create, to connect, to understand. Journal your thoughts. Find people who speak your language, not just with words, but with silence. And most importantly, give your mind time to rest. Because even the deepest ocean needs calm waves. If you're a deep thinker, you see what others overlook. You feel what others suppress. You think what others are afraid to face. And yes, it can be lonely. But it's also extraordinary, because the world needs people like you. People who think before they speak, feel before they judge, and reflect before they react. So the next time someone says, "You think too much," just smile and say, "Maybe you think too little." If this spoke to you, it's because somewhere deep down, you already knew this truth about yourself. You don't need to change the way you think, you just need to understand it. Thank you for listening. Stay curious, stay conscious, and never stop thinking deeply. Think deeply, live fully.
The human mind is a masterpiece, beautiful, chaotic, and endlessly mysterious. If you felt something while watching this, a spark of recognition, curiosity, maybe even unease, that's your subconscious waking up. This channel exists to explore that world, the shadows, the light, and everything in between. So, if you want to keep diving deeper into the psychology of who we are, the illusions we build, the masks we wear, and the secrets we hide, then join us. Hit subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments, and share this with someone who loves to understand the mind as much as you do. Because here, every story reveals a piece of truth, and we're just getting started.